It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here. And
I miss you too, Ernie.
And I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here, too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, this is a team they played pretty well against last season, going 3-1. They'll look to keep that edge tonight. And tonight, we get to see Otto Porter, the third overall pick a few drafts ago. He's had his critics, but Shaq, you could say now he is one of the best small forwards in the game.
Yeah, the game has slowed down for him. Doesn't try to do too much. But, Ernie, he has the talent to be a big-time player.
You know what? I could talk about Otto Porter for hours.
Don't you dare.
Okay, well, I'll just tell you this then. He gives you outside shooting, inside scoring, steals, blocks, everything you can expect based on what he did at Georgetown University. He's doing it in NBA.
See, if you talk too long about him, we'll miss the tip.
Okay.
And that's why Kevin Harlan is standing by at courtside.
Because I had an hour's worth of work.
I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. We've got an Eastern Conference battle ready to get rolling, and the Chicago crowd wants some love from their Bulls. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Pistons team. They could only manage a single win in 4 tries against these guys last year. This year in the league overall, the feel you think you're going to get?
Well, I think there's going to be 2 sides. It's a copycat league, so you're going to see some teams that are going to try to speed up the play. You're going to see some teams that try to increase three-pointers and decrease their mid-range jumpers. And then reality will set in, and then they'll have to kind of get back to playing regular basketball. And for some teams, it's just straight development. How can you develop your young players and get them along with maybe some veterans who are going to be transitioned out in the middle of the year? So right now for coaches, GMs, presidents, there's a lot of optimism, but there's also a lot of prodding and self-examination to see where they will be a year from now, as opposed to putting all their eggs in this season.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. The athletic front pair is Griffin and Drummond. Derrick Rose is out there with Kennard, and it's Brown in at the small forward. Carter outside, over to the left wing. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. 5 on the clock. White against Brown. Off target from outside. And so Griffin will bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. Pass to Kennard. Over Levine. Shot's good by Kennard.
Nice piece of work there. Get yourself a little space and pull the trigger.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Markkanen kicks to Carter. On the wing, Levine. Fires for 3. Drills the three-pointer. Levine's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Now looking comfortable in the pick-and-roll action. Levine just taking what he sees in these sets.
Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. From deep. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Dwayne Casey and I got a chance to talk for just a bit. And with this team, it's all about getting out in transition and using their team speed. He said, look, if we get a rebound, we got to be off to the races. This has to be a track meet. So we may have a wild one tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Chicago with the ball after the basket by Detroit. Here's Levine. Up and in. Off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
It's encouraging whenever Levine connects from mid-range. I mean, he's showing he wants to get better from it.
Pass to Drummond. Kicks it to Griffin. And he drops it in from the low post. Griffin's got his second basket.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect 4-4 from the floor.
Markkanen passes to Porter. Levine deciding where to go with it. That shot missing. The Pistons go the other way with it. Up top, Brown. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Here's Kennard, guarded by Levine, and that's a foul called on Lauri Markkanen. That is his first foul of the game. Passes it to Rose. Four on the shot clock. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Bulls trail by 5. White left side. Outside Levine. From the high post. That's good on the jump shot. Levine's got his third basket of the night right there.
A decent jump shooter. I mean, you can't afford to give Levine these types of looks. And boy, when you think about what the Bulls were in the 90s, Jordan, Pippen, Grant, Robin, I mean, a group that could suffocate you on both ends. Well, I'm sure he thought that was good when they left his fingertips. Matter of fact, I know he did.
White down low. He's covered by Rose. The 11-footer. Rebound, Detroit. Here's Kennard. And the foul on Wendell Carter. That's his first foul. Rose against White. Brown outside. Here's Griffin. The Pistons rebound. Carter against Drummond. Stolen by Levine.
And, you know, you can see him bait him into that one. He was just waiting on that pass, and as soon as it came out of the post, he was all over. Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Well, I like the decision-making, though. I mean, that's a shot you want to keep taking.
Here's Kennard. To the inside, Drummond. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And the play is all about Drummond and his solid fundamentals, just taking his time and getting a high-quality chance as a result.
To the middle, deflects the pass. White. Markkanen kicks to Porter. Inside. Here's Levine on the assist by Porter. And that's now 9 points for Zach Levine. The pass to Kennard. It's Drummond, high post. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Rose. And it's White with the rebound.
Not easy to miss a clean look inside like that, but he manages to do it.
Pass to Carter. He kicks it to Markkanen. Levine against Griffin. Count that bucket. Levine's got 11.
Oh, man, a hot start for him. He's hit 5 of his first set.
Pass to Griffin. Drummond trying to get himself free. And that one's good. Griffin. and the Pistons lead by 3. Chicago has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Carter kicks to Markkanen. On the wing, Levine. Griffin on the double team. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And here are the Bulls now. Here's Carter. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And it's important that Markkanen develops his floor awareness. I mean, passes like that go a long way.
Rose kicks to Brown. Passes it to Drummond. And here's Griffin. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Well, you just got to respect the leaping ability of Drummond, leaving the floor effortlessly, throwing it through the hoop.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here is Carter. Back to Levine. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
6 of 8 from the field, 75%. Just scoring the ball at will.
Rose finds Griffin. Markkanen pulls it in.
Aggressive move to the bucket, and D is ready for it.
To the paint. Levine, good. 15 points in the game.
He is dominating this quarter. He sees a soft spot in the D, and he's attacking.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
Well, and for the Pistons, their second season in the new downtown arena. I mean, all 4 of the city's major sports teams now play within a few blocks of something seen nowhere else in the country. Very special for Detroit.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Young's checked in for Markkanen. Denzel Valentine comes in for Otto Porter Jr. Saransky's checked in for Levine. And it's done in for White. And a different look here for the Pistons. Morris is checked in for Griffin. Mr. Move comes in for Brown. Langston Galloway's checked in for Luke Kennard. And it's Jackson in for Rose. And the basket by Jackson. Done with it. And the pass to Carter. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got his 6th rebound on the night. Pass to Jackson. Back to Galloway. Kicks it to Morris. Clock at 6. Here's Jackson, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Now it's a 3-point Piston lead. And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for the Bulls. Carter outside. Pass to Dunn. And the call will be against Langston Galloway. All of the game. Passes it to Saransky. Valentine with it. Shot clock at 6. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Young's shot is off. Pistons leading by 3. Mr. Moves passes to Drummond. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Drummond's got 6.
Drummond is just a behemoth, an absolutely devastating center who overpowers defenders constantly.
And Young kicks to Carter. Jackson against Dunn. And it's Young at the elbow. Takes a 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Valentine's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. There's 1:26 left here in the opening quarter. And stolen by Dunn. The pass to Satoransky. The score now all even.
What unselfishness from the young guard, Dunn. He's making more of an effort to distribute the ball.
Jackson kicks to Morris. It's stolen by Carter. Now here's Valentine. Defense right on him. Out to the right wing. Carter against Drummond. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Satoransky. He's covered closely.
All right, look, that's what they want. The ball is in his hands in the post. Just didn't have the touch that time.
Here's Galloway. Satoransky covering. Here's Drummond. Chicago grabs the miss. And here is Dunn. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Puts it up from 12, and he connects with the jumper. And the Bulls lead by 2.
Gotta live with it if you're the defense. Dunn must keep showing he can make those tough shots.
And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And don't go away. We'll be right back. One of the most dominant big men in the league, Andre Drummond, says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And, guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
An interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Well, that's what happens when you're aggressive on that end of the floor. They took a few chances and took control of the game.
For the Pistons, they've got Drummond. Mr. Moves out there with Markieff Morris. And there's Jackson, and it's Galloway in at the 2. And for his whole career, Thaddeus Young has been a player not afraid, Greg, of attacking defenders head on.
Young has such a great first burst of speed. He really is a handful to deal with. Gets a lot of transition buckets that way, and in the half court can set up teammates by creating space. In the latter part of his career, I think he's taken on more of a vocal leadership role as well.
Now Jackson. Pass to Morris. Unloads from 13. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And Markieff Morris out of Kansas, a spread 4, as they say.
And able to stripe it from anywhere on the floor. A good secondary scorer who can also create his own shot on the block at times.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good for Morris. Chris, there are a lot of players offensively in this league who do certain things, just the nuances that create contact and draw fouls and get themselves to the line, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. When I think of fouls, I think of James Harden. If I was a big man in the league today, I would have nightmares about this guy because he gets to the free throw line almost 10 times a game. His Euro step, his way to put his elbow up, he baits you to reach in, and then there's a presence of mind to be so quick that once you put your hand in the cookie jar, it's like your little brother telling you, "Ma," and you get in trouble. And that's what he does. He makes sure that the ref sees you getting that contact, you getting the foul. And how about DeMar DeRozan, what he does, and he is so strong attacking the hole. And DeMarcus Cousins inside using his big body in the post. Those come to mind the quickest, using their skill set to draw fouls on other players, because there's an arc to it.
And boy, have they been hitting the backboard in this game or what? Kind of surprising. It's such a tight game.
I mean, you got to respect the guts of Galloway. I mean, at 6'2", it's great to see him capitalize inside.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Finished the season last year around 80% from the stripe.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
What I like about Galloway is that he knows his role. He doesn't play outside of himself. He's a dependable player.
And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for the Bulls. Trailing by 2. Just 5 to shoot. That one wide left. Galloway taking his time here. Here's Mr. Moves. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Now it's a 4-point Piston lead.
You want more of this from Galloway? I mean, we know he can score, but it's crucial he improves his passing.
And it's Dunn penetrating. It's Young on the wing. Tate. One-on-one here. Galloway, the pass to Mr. Moves. And he gets it to go. And the Pistons lead by 6.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Dunn kicks to Carter. Back to Dunn. Looking to end the run. And he lays it up and in. Dunn's got his second bucket of the night.
Love the mentality of Dunn. Looking to score as often as he can from the painted area.
Galloway dishes to Drummond. Pistons passing it around. Here's Jackson. Sweet little floater. Jackson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Pistons.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Now here's Valentine. He's guarded closely. Morris against Dunn. 6 to shoot. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Such a powerful point guard. Even when you get aggressive with Dunn, he works through it.
Chris Dunn taken 5th overall back in 2016. Didn't break through in his rookie season with the Wolves. He's getting more opportunity here in Chicago.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Otto Porter Jr. comes in for Denzel Valentine. And Levine subbed in for Satoransky. Griffin's checked in for Detroit. Luke Kennard comes in for Langston Galloway. The free throw drops in for Dunn. And Greg, you look at Dunn, it can take longer for point guards to develop in the NBA.
A great point. It's the most cerebral position in our game. Learning how to run an NBA offense is a challenge. Good news, though, is he's putting in the work necessary to figure it out and progressing nicely.
Jackson against Dunn. And stolen by Dunn. Wide open. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn. Dunn's got 3 assists tonight.
Well, so precise off the pass. I mean, this is a shot Levine continues to knock down time and time again.
Now here's Jackson. 6 points for him. Pass to Morris. Down low. Here's Griffin. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Griffin's got 8.
And what concentration from the veteran. I mean, it's clear Griffin is used to having a hand in his face from down there.
Dunn kicks to Young. Porter passes to Levine. Float loose. Here's Kennard. Pass to Jackson. Here's Mr. Moves. Morris finds Griffin. Out to Morris. Clock at 4. Here's Mr. Moves. The shot misses. Nice D from Porter. Chicago trailing here. Dunn outside. Here's Levine. No good that time. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Up next for them is the Pacers in Indianapolis. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
I'm not sure if the D bothered him or if he just lost concentration on that one, but that's a layup he should convert.
Now here's Porter. Carter battles through traffic and lays it in. Carter's got the game tied up here for the Bulls.
If you let him get that deep, this is what you can expect.
Yeah, well, with his toughness and skills in there, it's a rough problem to fix.
And there's the whistle. That goes on Chris Dunn. That's his first foul. Chicago making some changes. Lauri Markkanen's checked in for Carter, and it's White in for Dunn. And then for Detroit, Brownie's checked in for Mr. Moves. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Jackson. And here's the fast break. Porter leading the way. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And the length of Porter that time is a problem for the D, especially when he's close to the basket.
One of the more down-to-earth players in this league is Otto Porter Jr.
And yeah, he once said, I never eat at restaurants. I'm a simple guy in all aspects of my life. We see that on the court. He doesn't draw a lot of attention to himself. He just focuses on the work.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
And evaluating Porter, I think this guy's the real deal. Paul Pierce once said, I love this kid. I had a chance to work with him. He could be an all-star. I agree with Paul.
And Porter drops them both. And Porter's not a big talker. He lets his game certainly speak for itself.
And his improvement has been tremendous. He's going to the basket. He's rebounding the ball. Porter, he shoots the 3 at a high clip. He's trying to earn every penny of that big contract.
And that was the play to make. Rose making the right read.
And White kicks to Young. And the pass to Porter. And here's White. He's covered by Brown. And it's White missing. And here's Griffin. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. And then Griffin with the dunk.
The agility Griffin possesses, are you kidding me? He's superb at using his speed to gut the defense to pieces.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
And Blake Griffin said early in his career he used to rely on his athleticism to get by. He said the problem was every season he'd be worn out by February. So diversifying his offensive game has helped him to kind of withstand the rigors of a long NBA season.
Checking out some stats for Levine.
How he performed last season. He averaged about 16 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And you look at his scoring, he was #1 on the team last season.
His ability to play through contact, his exceptional concentration, that's what makes him a great finisher.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. And, Greg, you look at a lot of the volume dunkers over the years. Their bodies often wear down. You think of Amari Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, even Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I think Griffin could see the writing on the wall. He used to get over 200 dunks in the season. Now, less than half that number. But the trade-off, hopefully, will be longevity and an increased skill set.
You know, for years, the adage has been that, C-Web, big men take longer to develop than other positions. Does that still ring true today?
I don't think so. I think today the point guard position, because the point guard position is the toughest position in the game. I think when the big men did take the longest to develop, it was because the big man position, the center and power forward, were the toughest, and that's kind of changed. Cat and B didn't take very long to develop. Big men coming to the league, they're more polished now, and I think the fact that the coaches, the coaching, the skill sets now are so much more alike that guys can make an easier adjustment into the game because they've been playing their game and adjusting a lot longer than maybe the players before that had to find a different role once they entered into the pros.
That one misses. There is one interesting stat for the Chicago Bulls, C-Web, and they're still the only NBA franchise to win multiple championships and never lose an NBA Finals.
Wow, that's just an amazing a testament to the clutch play of Jordan when they did make the finals, and a reminder of how hard it is just to get there.
And unfortunately, injuries will always be the concern with Derrick Rose. Still loves the game of basketball, knows he is limited compared to what he once was. Amazing with all he's fought through, he can still perform at such a high level.
Free throw drops for Rose. And with Rose, as you said, his love of the game is still there, and he still wants to play.
I mean, many players would have just walked away from having their body betray him. But Rose said last season he loves what he gets to do and still would be a water boy if he had to. You have to admire Rose's attitude and approach in that regard.
And both free throws good for Rose.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Rose against White. Pass to Porter. He kicks it to Levine. Morris with the block.
Oh, man, look at Morris use his reach to turn away a shot. He's excellent at cornering shooters and sending their shots back. He's been in control here tonight, helping them get in front with his work from the field.
Here's White following the basket by Blake Griffin. Young taking his time here. Kicks to Porter. Pass to White. Some deep three-point range. Griffin grabs the board.
And they have built their advantage on the scoreboard here by doing all the little things.
I mean, that's a rugged play.
Gracious.
Morris is a physical guy, solid at staying active on the boards and gobbling up these rebounds.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. C-Web, the Pistons from 2003 to 2008 with 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals and 1 title. But in the decades since, only 2 playoff appearances and 0 playoff wins.
Well, yeah, think about it. The 2004 title team was led by Joe Dumars, who won championships back-to-back with the Pistons. You need that type of lineage. Think about Boston, Danny Ainge. Think about the Lakers with Magic Johnson. Well, the Pistons need that type of consistency. They need a leader. The Pistons, once again, hoping to find that magic in chemistry.
Put me on some. 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 Yeah, we really going dumb.
If you're wondering where the points are coming from here tonight, here's a breakdown in the scoring between the front court and back court tonight for Chicago.
And it's been guard play, which really has shouldered the burden offensively here. They'd like a bit more production from the front court, but in the meantime, this backcourt has kept them in the game.
Detroit leading by 8. Kennard, the pass to Morris. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Morris has got 6 in the quarter.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
White dishes to Young. Pass to Porter. Shot clock at 5. Back to Young. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Young's got his second basket of the night.
Like the vision from Porter, not just looking for his own shot, constantly looking to get it to the open man.
Here's Griffin. Good for his 8th field goal. He's attempted a dozen shots.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Levine finds Young. Morris against Markkanen. The pass to White. For 3. And it's Griffin with the rebound.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Morris against Markkanen. Morris passes to Kennard. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Shoots from 12. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. And now a 12-point Piston lead.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Feeds it to White. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist.
Capable of doing many things well. Levine has a good sense of when his guys are open.
Rose kicks to Brown. The Pistons working the ball around now. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's going to go on Otto Porter Jr.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Yeah, guys, and his teammates love it. That'll get him a few big pats on the back.
The Bulls making a switch here. Valentine's checked in. Then for the Pistons, Drummond comes in for Morris, and Langston Galloway subbed in for Luke Kennard. That free throw good from Brown. Now here's Levine. 18 points for him. Down low, Porter. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Oh, yeah. Porter knows how to score inside. He possesses great quickness, and he has that length also to finish in the paint.
Rose kicks to Griffin. Griffin draws the double. Back to Rose. And there it is for him. Rose has got the lead up to 13 now for the Pistons.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
There's Levine, and Levine with the slam.
Got to give Levine some love. Many of the dunks he flat out nasty.
And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for the Detroit Pistons outside Griffin. Brown outside. Drummond finds Galloway. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The kick out to Brown. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Galloway has got 3 assists tonight.
I don't know if that was by design or by accident, but the D not paying any attention to him.
Porter passes to Valentine. Now here's Levine. Pass to Markkanen. Lets it go from deep. Rebound by the Pistons. Griffin's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. It's Brown on the wing. Lobbed up there for Drummond. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession.
Wow. Wasted possession. Thanks to what should have been a simple pass.
Saransky's checked in for White. .30 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Rose against Satoransky. Outside, Levine. On the wing, Porter. Gets a very good look and converts. Porter's got 6.
That's the assertive attitude you like seeing from Porter. I mean, he knows he can sink shots off the pass.
Rose scanning the floor. Here's Griffin. Banked in off the glass. Griffin's got 12 now in this quarter.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
And you see he's not worried about what's on the scoreboard. He just wants to go ham each possession.
Blake Griffin getting it done for the Detroit Pistons. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Derek, how's it feel to be back on the floor again?
It feels good, man, especially playing with my teammates. We have new teammates. We're just trying to come out here and just play hard and compete.
Good to see you back out here, Derek. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, they were completely in rhythm shooting the basketball. Just watching the flow of their offense, everything clicked into place. Fantastic shot selection. They took advantage of everything the defense gave them.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. You know, I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. You look at Zach LaVine, he's really been playing well.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
Terrific first half on offense. This is how you draw it up. We'll see if they can maintain that efficiency going forward.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. And down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. Levine is out there with White, and it's Porter in at the 3 spot. And that's the group for Jim Boylan as we begin the second half. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more. And that sends Blake Griffin to the free throw line. It's going to be on Wendell Carter. One thing Blake Griffin's teammates, Chris, talk about is the leadership he brings the team.
This is a role he's comfortable in. A 5-time All-Star. He's a hard worker, mature. And that's something every team needs.
One shot, the lanes.
Free throw drops for Griffin.
Well, I don't think the Pistons tried to make Andre Drummond the offensive focal point. I think Andre Drummond doesn't need his name called to have plays, and he rebounds and scores that way, but you need a different type of offense. The Pistons were terrible in half-court execution, and they didn't get out and run as well. You kind of wondered at times last strategy, but now with Blake Griffin arriving, there's no question who's the top dog.
To the inside. Lead pass was put in just out. Griffin's got 23 points.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Outside, White launches it with the rebound. Drummond's got 9 rebounds now tonight. And that Griffin-Drummond pairing, not unlike the lob city front court of Griffin and DeAndre Jordan in Los Angeles.
But think about Griffin's passing, and the oops he used to throw to Jordan. Well, he can definitely throw those to Drummond. He can go up and get it, and his rebounder the same way. As a big fella, I loved having another big fella in there that I could play with, switch defensively with, communicate with, change the game with, and Griffin is becoming more comfortable as a perimeter shooter, and his passing above all. That enables him to function alongside another interior big like Drummond.
And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half.
I see him. Rose.
Here's Kennard, guarded by Levine, outside Griffin. Shot clock at 5. They double team Griffin, and the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
You two players.
Jump ball. And here are the Bulls now. Bulls trail by 17. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Markkanen kicks to White. Back to Markkanen. Carter down low, working on Drummond, and it's sent back by Drummond.
All right, shooters have to be careful when Drummond is roaming nearby. He is a defensive menace who takes his shot blocking very seriously.
Onto the quarter.
2 shots, gentlemen.
That's his second personal foul.
Andre Drummond in his mid-20s. He's led the league in rebounding 3 consecutive seasons. And Greg, last season was his best one yet.
Really, I think, established himself as the franchise player for the Pistons. They'll go as far as he can take them. At the same time, though, I think the acquisition of Blake Griffin will only help to mature his game.
Drops for Griffin.
And when Griffin is healthy, he's an effective player, a double-double threat who's tough to match up against.
Griffin hits them both. And so Levine will bring it up now for the Bulls. 19-point game. It's off to Charlotte for him after this game as they take on the Hornets. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That'll be his second foul of the game. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half.
Only 1 for 5 to start the half. I mean, whatever adjustments they made at halftime weren't the right ones.
He's looking for Griffin and finds him. Rose against White. Rose attacking. Pass to Kennard. Just 5 on the clock. Goes up from the top of the key, and the basket is good. And the Pistons lead by 21.
How's that for a start? Good on all 3 attempts so far in the second half.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Blake Griffin really making a difference here.
There should only be one thing they're talking about in this timeout, trying to deny him the ball in the paint before he does any more damage.
Mr. Move checked in for the Pistons. Reggie Jackson comes in for Derrick Rose. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Outside, Levine. Porter in the corner. White the pass to Carter. Levine for three. Rebound, Andre Drummond. Drummond's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Passes it to Griffin. Here's Kennard. Guarded by Levine. Back to Griffin. 6 to shoot. And there's the pass to Kennard. Here's Drummond. Back to Griffin. And Detroit again with the bucket.
Oh, wow. Capable of scoring in many different ways. As soon as Griffin catches fire, he's hard to put out.
Oh, Chicago has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Levine kicks to Markkanen. Back to Levine. And a wide open look for Porter. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got 4 assists in the game. Detroit leading by 20. Jackson deciding where to go with it. Pass to Griffin. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Drummond's got 10.
With like 279 pounds, why don't we just say 280? Drummond is just the force of nature when he's shooting the ball. Shrugging off contact like that is nothing.
Outside, Levine. With the floater, and it's sent back by Drummond. Here's Kennard, guarded by Levine. To the middle, shoots it up. The shot's good from Griffin. Griffin's got 29 in the game.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Jackson against White. Markkanen kicks to White. Inside, Carter. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Andre Drummond picks one up. The Bulls shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. We know that stars, especially superstars, get some level of benefit from the refs. What do you think of that? Is that good for the game?
I think the refs should always be fair. I think, yes, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt if you're James Harden and you can cross everyone over and you get 10 free throws a game. He earns those most nights. But, yeah, it's going to be some nights in which he gets a call or two here because as an offensive player, you want to be so aggressive that you put the referees in a tough position to make a tough call and to see what that was. Fans want to see the best players play, not sit. So you have to be judicious with how far you go, but just sometimes slip in the tendencies. And I used to get so mad when all I would do is go challenge a shot. The human kickstand would kick his leg out. The ref would say I fouled him, I didn't foul him, and the best actor in the world would get to go to the line, get a 4-pointer. And okay, Caleb, what was the question again? Stars, superstars getting.
I don't know. Let's stop.
Next
Let's stop.
2 shots.
The Pistons have been exceptional shooting free throws tonight, going 9 for 9. That's good from Blake Griffin.
That's what they want to see from him, attacking, getting whistles, and maybe causing some foul trouble.
Saransky's checked in for the Bulls. And he makes the first but misses the second. And here's Young. He'll bring it up for the Bulls. To the middle. Here's Carter. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got his 4th rebound in this one.
Yeah, that's got them over the limit with a lot of time still left. They're going to have to tone it down, or they may end up giving up a lot of free throws here.
For Detroit, they have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them.
And talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws. I'm sure they were hoping for better than that.
From the first. And the Pistons making a change here. Galloway's checked in. Good on the second free throw. Chicago's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Ooh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
Looking mad, depressed. Young black handsome bad, but let's get to the fattest. You matters. What you say and what you doing ain't adding up. Do a ring around the squad. What you see me owning, that she ain't passing up. No way, we own it. You looking in the eyes of the chosen. Hey, don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. Hey, feel goal, kick a ride, touch a going. I'm a going touchdown. Boom, shaka laka. Ooh, eyes on me, I see you watching. Ooh, we do what we want to.
Last night was a burn on replay. I done ready like Caesar's pieces. You know I can't fight the demons. Shot block up, she running hair through my lies, but she run a lifestyle. Love it when you call me Pop.
Let's take a look here at the numbers for Porter. Last year, getting it done. Second in three-point field goal percentage. And he was also among the top 20 in steals. That ability is more unique than folks realize. Very valuable defensively.
And back to what you said, he was runner-up in the three-point accuracy category last season because no one could get him out of his rhythm. He was just unstoppable. That one doesn't drop. Here are the Pistons with the ball. They're on a 17-6 run. He gets it in there. 6 points for Mr. Moves.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And Satoransky kicks to Young. Satoransky, the pass to Dunn. The kick out to Young. Clock at 4. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn.
And this is what teammates expect from their point guards. Dunn, I mean, pacing the offense well there.
Outside Jackson. Here's Mr. Moves. He's got 6. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's Jackson. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
Not quite airtight defense right there, but his release was a little bit off on the jump.
And Satoransky kicks to Dunn. Young outside. Back to Dunn from past the arc. Knocks down the 3 ball. He's got 10.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, they've been tremendous from beyond the arc. It's a shift from what they did in the first 2 quarters.
Valentine's checked in for Carter.
Coming onto the floor for your Bulls, Denzel Valentine.
Jackson with it to the left wing. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
And what an athlete this guy is. Griffin making dunking look so easy.
Pass to Satoransky. Outside Porter. Back to Satoransky. Passes to Valentine. From the stripe. They get the rebound. Here's Porter. It's blocked. And they're able to recover. Shots good from Young. Detroit leading by 21. There's Jackson with the three. Drains the three-pointer. Jackson's got 9 points.
Oh, man, you really like seeing Jackson get going from the perimeter. His three-point shot has come a long way. Well, Reggie Jackson, drafted by the Thunder with the 24th pick in 2011. Now, despite playing big, he wasn't happy backing up Westbrook. He wanted the chance to start.
Enzo Galloway with it. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. Outside Griffin. Here's Mr. Moves. 6 points for him. Here's Morris. Yep, that one goes in there. And Jackson burned some bridges on his way out of Oklahoma City. Some felt he put himself before the team.
It worked out financially. I mean, a 5-year, $80 million contract. I mean, it's doubtful the Thunder could have afforded it, but from that standpoint, hard to knock him.
Valentine passes to Porter. 5 to shoot. Here's Dunn. Off the left rim and out.
Defensively, they could have done better. That's an open look he'd like to have back.
Inside, here's Jackson. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's got assist number 5 here tonight. Chicago has gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. Porter looking it over. And Young kicks to Valentine. Clock at 6. Here's Porter. Blake Griffin pulls it in.
He hasn't been very precise at all this quarter.
There's the pass to Morris. Down against Jackson. Dishes it to Morris. Inside. Jackson misses. Chicago's gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Porter passes to Dunn. The kick out to Porter. The feed to Young. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
He's one of the guys having a solid game for them, but as a whole, they've been left.
Outside Griffin. There's a minute left in the third quarter of the game. Inside, Mr. Moves, and the layup is good. Mr. Moves got 4 this quarter.
There you see why you want the ball in Jackson's hands as much as possible. He can clearly set the table.
Dunn kicks to center answer. Back to Dunn. Outside Porter. Pass to Young. Over Jackson. Young's shot is off. It's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Jackson finds Griffin. Griffin draws the double. Jackson passes to Griffin. Poked loose, and it's out of bounds, and they say last touch by Griffin. Seven seconds left here in the third quarter. With 1 on the clock, misses.
Oh, man, Jackson is just a pesky defender. Does a phenomenal job at getting a hand up in the face of shooters.
And so is Detroit, ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We've got more in store for you right after this. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
No, that's quick decision making. You see a guy open, you can't hesitate. That's an outstanding play right there.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for the Pistons, we've got Derrick Rose. Maker out there with Beasley. Then there's Tony Snell, and it's Frazier in at the point.
That's a perfect setup. Solid screen, defender can't avoid it. Opens up a clear path to the bucket.
He kicks to Snell. Shoots the 3. It's deflected. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Here's Cornette. Frazier covering. There's the 3. The shot by Valentine. No good. The Pistons shooting 71% all in all in this one. They've been brilliant offensively. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. When you look at the amount of threes, Chris, being taken now, do you think the league as a whole is too dependent upon the perimeter offense?
I don't think so. If you look at Golden State, we all tend to think that they've shot the most threes last year. It actually was Houston.
Right.
And when you look at how Golden State does not just settle for threes, Kevin, but they can shoot them at any time, and maybe the best three-point shooter in the history of the NBA, Curry, will lay a difficult layup over the top of your head just as quick as he'll shoot a tough 3 from 45 feet. That's what it seems like, but the good teams like a Golden State make you feel like they're shooting a lot of threes, but actually play with a balanced game. Those that try to copycat and just shoot threes, I don't think they've won a championship yet. So I think it's about having that balance, and maybe the league overall is shooting too many threes, but the champions who shoot threes, I don't think take too many.
And so Snell nails both of them. And here's Levine, who brings it up for the Chicago Bulls. Griffin on the double team. Down low, here's Markkanen, and Markkanen throws it down.
Giving his height, Markkanen makes dunking look second nature. Got to keep him away from the rim.
And so it's Detroit with the ball. Rose kicks to Snell. And here is Drummond. Back to Rose. Stolen by Levine. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Outside, White. Levine passes to Carter. Here's White. That's in there. Carter with the assist.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Detroit leading by 22. To the inside. Stolen by Markkanen. Levine against Rose. And the call will be against Luke Kennard. That is his first foul of the game. Brown is checked in for Tony Snell. Chris, the last few years, talk of expansion has come up. Are we ready, you think, in the NBA to add some more teams?
I think we are. Now, expanding to 32 teams might stretch the talent a little bit thin, but I think we could handle a couple of years with that because of the youth of the players. And it could actually switch it up a little bit. I mean, come on, Kevin. You like me. You're a big basketball and big sports fan. You know we have to have a team in Seattle.
I would love to see it. Absolutely.
I mean, come on. You know how crazy those fans were. You know we have to have that come back. And then there's some places. Think about how great Oklahoma City is.
Yes.
And how they've just embraced this Thunder team. There might be a couple more places out there with that type of passion and fans saying, listen, if you give us a team, we promise we'll nurture it, take care of it, and root for it the loudest. And I like having that. I think it's time to definitely investigate expansion, but we got to get back to Seattle first and foremost.
And White kicks to Markkanen. Pass to Carter. Outside, Levine. 6 on the shot clock. Now, here's Valentine. He's covered by Brown.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Pistons leading by 19. It's Drummond, top of the key. Markkanen against Griffin. Brown outside. From deep three-point range, but they'll get another chance. Outside Rose. The shot, no good. And it's Chicago the other way. To the paint, here's Carter, and then Carter with the dunk.
And all of a sudden, things finally coming together for them. The deficit's still large, but now not insurmountable.
And the longer the run goes on, the more momentum will swing their way.
It's Drummond, high post. The Pistons working the ball around now. On the wing, Brown. Here's Kennard, guarded by Levine. There's Brown with the three, and he's good on the three ball. And the Pistons lead by 20.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
11 feet away, and the Bulls tack on two more.
Looking calm and composed in the paint. Levine is superb at capitalizing from these spots.
Lobbed up there for Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off. And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. White dishes to Levine. Back to White. Lets it go from deep. Good on the triple.
I don't think they were expecting that. Didn't really make an effort to get out on him.
Pistons leading by 17. Rose kicks to Brown. Up top, Griffin. Pass to Drummond. Here's Kennard, guarded by Levine. Chicago grabs the miss.
I think a kick out is the better option there. Defense had the rim on lockdown.
He dishes it to Carter. Back to Levine. And Levine throws it down.
Showing off the entire arsenal right now. Levine's so outstanding. He's scoring in a multitude of ways.
Rose kicks to Drummond. Back to Rose. Here's Kennard. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
The D pretty much taking that possession off, but the shot's off target with nobody near.
White against Rose. Carter, the pass to White. Inside. And Markkanen throws it down.
Give credit where credit is due right there.
Back to Rose. Brown outside. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his fourth assist in this one.
He can run hot or cold, but no doubt about which way he's running tonight. There's steam coming off of it.
Levine kicks to Valentine. Outside, White. Another three for Chicago.
And that's how you answer back.
Trading bombs the last two possessions. They're going after it.
Down low, stolen by Carter. White sinks that one from the post.
He's ramped up his game in a big way this quarter. I don't think he likes it when they're trailing.
Rose kicks to Drummond. Back to Rose. Middle. Here's Brown. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Brown's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
And it's Carter missing. Pistons leading by 13. Now Griffin. Over in the corner, Rose. 5 to shoot. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. And the Pistons lead by 15. And here's Levine who brings it up for the Bulls. Kicks it to Markkanen. Back to Levine. One clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Zach LaVine, a high riser. The two-time dunk contest champ making his return from that ACL surgery. He can be an explosive scorer.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
The first one falls. And from everything you hear, LaVine is a big-time gym rat, Greg.
Yeah, I think he's very dedicated to reaching his full potential. And with his shooting and athleticism, I think he's a great fit in today's game in terms of offense.
Porter's checked in for the Bulls. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Detroit.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player, excellent at the free throw line.
The dish now to Drummond. The pass to Griffin. Drummond trying to get himself free, and Griffin scores. The assist by Drummond. Drummond's got 4 assists now tonight. Bulls trail by 15. Bean passes to Carter. And stolen by Drummond. To the paint. Here's Kennard. Rebound collected by LaVine. Chicago has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Pass to White. Shot clock at 6. No good with the elbow jumper. Pistons leading by 15. Outside Jackson. Lobbed up there for Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
And that's the shot that Drummond drains constantly. Just such a nice touch from him.
Now the Bulls with it. Here's LaVine. Goes up again, and the bucket is good from Carter in deep.
That's what every team needs. Guys getting after it on the offensive board.
2 minutes, 2
Jackson against White. Markkanen pulls it in. Bulls trail by 15. Outside White. He kicks it to LaVine. Pass to Markkanen. That's good, and it's LaVine with the assist. 9 points for Lauri Markkanen.
And that's the confidence his teammates want to see. Markkanen is adept at firing off the pass.
It's Drummond, high post. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Wendell Carter. C-Webb, with the Pistons acquiring Blake Griffin last season, what's the impact for Andre Drummond at the offensive end?
Sometimes it can take pressure off of him to create. He can focus on his strengths, defense, rebounding, and cleaning up the mess around the rim.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
No good on that one.
You love the heart that Drummond plays with. He's just a physical beast who's using his gigantic size incredibly well.
So neither attempt will fall that time for him. The Bulls traded away a superstar in Jimmy Butler, but in return, among other assets, the number 7 pick, which Chris turned out to be Markkanen.
Well, listen, Markkanen is one of my favorite players. He can become a star in his own right. He's a 7-footer that can stretch the floor, but he'll bang on you inside, fearless. You like this kid's game. It's almost like he's from Detroit or something.
And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Pistons.
Well, the one thing that jumps out in this game is the free throw shooting, which they did a much better job at.
Absolutely. A big plus. And oftentimes your performance at the line can be the difference in a game. And I think tonight we saw that.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Blake Griffin.
Just the scoring alone. I mean, it's a fantastic game for him. He was just going over, around, through the defense, all day long.
To the inside, and stolen by Drummond. To the middle. And it's Brown that time on the assist by Griffin.
Assist from.
And the Pistons lead by 14. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Levine and the Bulls tack on 2 more.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Oh, yeah, this is a nice run here, but too little too late. And deep down, I think they know it.
Griffin against Markkanen. He gets it in there. Griffin's got 39.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack mindset.
Here's White. He's off on that one.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
I'd love to hear his explanation of Coach right there. That should be an interesting conversation.
And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Blake, very strong game offensively. What gave you the confidence to take over?
I'm just putting in the work, and my teammates, honestly, believing in me and telling me to be confident at the end of the game. So I owe a lot to them. They came up with big plays. Just everybody working together.
Very good win for you tonight, Blake. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later.